The Hall of Gods is a place in Godhome where you can fight every boss that you've defeated before. This is very useful because you can practice each boss individually before doing the Pantheons. However, something interesting is that a list of every boss is provided. Can you beat the game in that order? I started a new game file where I collected every charm and freed every rob that was close to me. This will be useful later. The first boss is Grossmother and I defeated her. Do a loop to free more groups and then go to bench flanking, all the way in Greenpine. So I fight, not kill, False Knight, collect PS, Soul Catcher and make my way to Greenpath. I seriously need to train the quick kill because it looks so cool. But anyway, after that I collect some Geo, free more groups and get relics and buy the stack. The next one is Bloody Molly, very easy, very quick, and then we return to False Knight. I was doing so much damage so quickly I didn't give False Knight the chance to break the floor and end the fight, ironically making the fight longer. But after that, the next boss is... Oh no. These are horrible news, not only because the boss is hard but also because we need some abilities we don't have yet. We need Mantis Claw and Dream Nail without dash, because we can fight Hornet yet. Thankfully, I knew about a trick that could bring me to Fungal Oasis and made my way to Queen Station and collected max shards to get a 6 mask. I saved quitted to Leg Eater and died in this room in order to do a shade skip. The reason I collected another mask is to give the shade more HP and make the skip easier. I got to Mantis village and pulled the lever, but the Mantises didn't want to get jumped over for some reason. I had to do everything again, but at least the shade skip was easy. This time the Mantises decided to help and I got Claw. I collected some charms, relics and freed some drops. In general, assume that I will do that for every place that's close to me. I get Howling Rage which will be incredibly useful in this run, you'll see later why. And I also do a shade skip to get to the Blue Lake. That's very interesting because I don't have dash but I have Mantis Claw, so it will change a little bit how it is done. I tried to go for an itemless variation but I couldn't, simply it was too hard, even though I did it before, but I couldn't, so I decided to look up a tutorial and it was very easy once you know what to do. But after getting Dream Nail, I go into a collecting frenzy where I collect every shiny thing I'm close to, sell stuff to Lem and get lots of upgrades. This extended all the way to Howling Cliffs where I do skip by 90% certain it's the first time it was done, and keep looking after shiny stuff. I really go crazy collecting upgrades to be prepared for failed champion, even though all of this will be not enough. Something I realized way too late is that you need dash to even get to the arena, which means I had to cast 3 spells to even fight the boss. I eventually reduced it to 2 spells, but that's still wasting 120 damage before fighting FC. I decided to go for more upgrades because I was truly stuck on this fight, and the most important one was C-Dash. Getting it was extremely annoying because it includes a platforming challenge where you're supposed to use dash, so I had to use even more spells. The annoying part is that I could heal way less than normal because I needed soul to cast the spells, and each failed couple of attempts meant safe quitting to the nearest bench, collecting soul and returning to the room. But after a lot of attempts I managed to get C-Dash and with that I got another nail upgrade and another mask. This finally was enough to beat failed champion. Thankfully, the path from here is way easier. I just had to defeat Hornet and I already had a stacking Dream Path. After defeating Hornet and finally getting Dash, I used it a lot to get to Hornet Sentinel. I didn't have Monarch Wings, but it was no problem because I just jumped over a Primal Aspid and then managed to defeat it again. I got King's Rant and got a Beastreak and Shade Cloak. After that, the next boss is Flugmarn. Oh no. Before the bad news, let's go to City of Tears, collect the simple key, and make our way to the Royal Waterways, where I realized I needed Desperate Dive to even get to Flugmarn. And I can't even get to there because it's locked behind Soul Warrior and Soul Master. And now I have two options. Stop the challenge here and say the challenge is impossible, or postpone it until I defeat Soul Master. Let me know what you think in the comments, but this is the end of part 1 if this ends up being a series. Thank you for watching and bye.